Hello everyone, welcome back to Jacqs and thanks for joining me for day 4 of our Crafter's Companion Advent Calendar. Let's find out what day 4 entails. So day 4 is down here in the corner. And it looks like a little banner flag. So that is what we have to work with. Look a little. This is so cute. And what's nice is it is stitched. Cool. That ought to be fun. For today's project, we're going to use this Let's Celebrate by First Edition paper. I actually got this at Joann's and I haven't even hauled it yet. So we'll be using this to create it. We are going to do a Slimline card because I had a request to create a box envelope for Slimline cards. And so I want to make this a chunky one so that I can show you how to do that as well. The first thing you'll need to do is take a piece of white cardstock or whatever color you're using and cut it down to 8 3/4 by 7 1/2. You're going to then score this at 3 3/4 down the center. Once you have it scored, go ahead and fold and burnish. And then we have our Slimline card. The final size of this is 3 3/4 by 8 3/4. This is different than the Slimline card that I previously showed you that had a different measurement. I'm doing different sizes because there are different sizes out there. So I just wanted to be able to show you more than one size. With the card base created, what we're going to do is start making our layers. And our first layer will be 3 1/2 by 8 1/2. And that will give you about an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. The next layer will be 3 1/4 by 8 1/4, and that'll be your your second layer on top, and it will look like that. To make this a chunky Slimline card, the best thing to do is add tape to the back side of your first layer. I'm using the foam tape from Dollar Tree. And now we will line this up with our bottom layer and hopefully get it on there. Yeah, I think that works. I think our card is going to be sideways today, so that looks good. Now for the next layer, I did the same thing. I added foam on top of that, and I'll take this off and add it on top. What's nice about this is there is no direction with the paper that I'm using, but if you are using directional paper, just make sure you have everything going in the right direction that you want it to be in. Now, a good thing about using foam to do the layering is that we would be able to stick pieces in between the layers if you wanted to. I don't know if we'll do that or not, but I'm just providing that idea. So that's looking good. Okay, so I used our die that we got today and cut out some little banners to spell out celebrate. And I just have one more here. I'm using these stickers. And these are kind of old. I don't really know who they're by. Made for retail is all it says. And I'm just adding the last letter here. And now I'm going to add these to the card. The way I'm going to do it is start kind of in side of the card and then spelled celebrate this way. So I'll probably start with the last one, and I'm going to add these on flat because everything else that I'm going to add, some of the other items are going to be dimensional. So I'll just start doing this. And there we have it. That's cute. I love how the diagonal almost makes it look like it's moving, like in the wind. Cool. Very cool. Now some of the images that I'm going to be using are these from the paper collection. I fussy cut these out. There's a panda and a little doggy and even some candles. But I don't know if I'm going to need them now. So I'm going to start adding these on. I think I'm going to put the pink flamingo on flat and then put the dog dimensional. I'm using these K&C company stickers. I got these at Dollar Tree. I haven't hauled them yet, but I'm loving this dimensional. It's like got 2 and 3 layers on it. Oh, I wanted to add my polar bear first. I decided to remove the balloons from the end of the pink flamingo because they were kind of hanging over, and then you'd have to have an extremely long envelope. So what I did decide to do was I lifted up the foam that we had put down, and then I put the balloons down in there, and I'm just going to kind of copy that over here as well. And I did add some gems on each corner here. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, we're going to create an envelope for this card. I am using Simple Stories Wood and Gingham Basics. I've chosen this wood grain with some of the color to match the card. So we're going to score at 5/8 of an inch. And 1 1/8. We're going to turn it to the right and score at 4 5/8. Whoops, I missed one. 4 1/8. So 4 1/8, then 4 5/8, 9 1/4, and 9 3/4. We're going to rotate one more time to the right. And we're going to score at 5/8 and 1 1/8. So that's all our scoring. So when you're looking at the paper, I turned it over so that you could see better. You'll have a short end, a big middle, and then a larger but smaller than the middle end, okay? And we are going to do some cutting. And just like any other envelope, we would cut out the ends on all 4 corners. So I'm starting down here where we have the larger block. I'm going to cut in on the second score mark from the bottom all the way up to the second score mark, okay? I guess I could have used my bigger scissors. Again, up on the corner, the very smallest block, we're going to cut from the second score mark in all the way up to the second score mark. We're just going to repeat the same thing over here. And then go back down here and cut out this block. And our paper will look like this. Okay. So we have all of our score marks, and what we need to do now is burnish those. Now what we need to do is add glue to the top of the center tabs right here. And we're going to fold this over, and we're going to, square off the ends. So if you see, you don't need to put glue all the way up. So you may want to just add your glue to the bottom piece. Fold that over and square it off. And we can do that again over here. Folding our little tab down, squaring it off. And then making sure this is aligned. Don't let the centerpiece go over the little flap. Now we could have made tabs and put in there. It's up to you. You can do that. Instead of cutting all the way. So here's the bottom block, and this is the center. Instead of cutting this tab off, you could have used that to be a tab on the inside. I don't think it's necessary, but up to you. So what you see here is a 1/2-inch box envelope. This closes over, and then you have your squared off envelope. So you would probably put some tape adhesive here for the recipient to use. Let's see if our card fits. Just going to slide that in. See, plenty of room. And then this just folds over. And then you would have your adhesive there, of course. And it just squares off. Makes a nice little envelope. So I know I showed you how to create an envelope without a tab, but I thought I'd show you how to do it with a tab, just in case you I wasn't clear about what I was talking about. So let's do this again. We're going to use a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, score at 5/8 of an inch, score at 1 1/8. We're going to rotate once to the right. We're going to score at 4 1/8. Score at 4 5/8. Nine 1/4. 9 3/4. Then we're going to rotate one more to the right, and we're going to score at 5/8 of an inch. And 1 1/8. Okay. Now, with our short block up at the top, we're going to start doing our cutting down here at the bottom. And we're going to go to the second score mark in, and we're going to cut all the way up to the first score line. Not the second, the first one. We're going to turn the page, and we're going to cut at an angle, just a slight angle from the edge up to the second score line. On the next score line here, we're going to cut all the way up to the second score line at a slight angle going this way. And if you don't want to do an angle, you could just do straight cuts again. So what you'll have is a little tab like this, and what you should do is cut off the first block. So you only want to keep this one. So cut off the first one. Okay. At the smaller block, we're going to cut the same way we did before. We cut all the way to the second score line and cut that block out. Now we're down here in the right hand corner. We're going to cut all the way up to the first score line. Now here's where you could just cut straight on the first score line all the way across to cut out that block. And then on the next score line, you cut straight. We cut off the first block. And at this point, if you want, you could do your mitering. Probably easier that way. Okay, so I hope that helps. And what I'm going to do now is burnish everything. Oh, actually, what I'm going to do, before I even do that, is use a punch to make a decorative edge. And you would do that on the short block. There, now we have a nice decorative edge. So I've decided to put a little something on the front before I attach everything. Okay, so just in case you didn't, so I did the one side showing you how to do it. My son came in, so I quit talking, but I kept going. So what I did first was to put liquid glue or adhesive on the back of the little tab, and then I added my glue to the top of this panel, just like we did last time. Now we fold this in over the tab because we want the tab to get adhered to this side, okay? So we push that up and square it off, there we go. And then at the same time, we can level this out and glue it down. And then just use your foam folder to go in and make sure it's adhered down. And there we go. I like this a lot better with the decorative edge and something on the front of it. Really cute. So when you're done, this gives you an envelope that is 4 5/8 by 9 3/4 and a 1/2 inch gusset there. So this is our Advent craft for today. I hope you have enjoyed this. I love our little Slimline card. I added a little camera here at the end. I love how the balloons are layered behind the top layer. And on the inside, I just added some little candles there. And our great dimensional box envelope. Love it. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this as well. See you next time.